What's going on, everybody? Happy 4th of July. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are live. We are live. We're talking some MLB for the 4th of July. Hope everyone has a great holiday. Got to get a quick promo out. You guys know how it goes. And then we'll get started. We're going to look at some home runs. We're going to look at some nervies. We're going to keep this quick 30 minutes. I've already played a bunch today, so we'll go through that. We'll see if we can find some value, and hopefully we get some nice stuff going on. All right, as you can see, home run bets, 4th of July. Everybody knows they want to get in on those. There are some boosts around as well. You have the DK King of the Diamond. I bet something for that. FanDuel's got a profit boost. I bet something for that as well. And we got just some other fun stuff. So let's go game by game and find some home runs quick. So, of course, using the amazing Props.cash promo code BetSmart for 30% off your first month. This game starts at 11. We got Nationals, Red Sox in DC. Not concerned about this win because look at this heat. You got Giolito going against who was it? Soroka, who's been great so far. And obviously Boston's bats can be bad. But let's look at some stats. We'll start with Jimmy Barrels, of course. Went yard last night in a 5-for-5 game. The man is in the Derby. Giolito's allowed 4 home runs to lefties, but 87 PA, so definitely a higher home run rate than those 4 against right-handed bats. The isolated power is a little down, but 252. This is Woods split, so Woods against a righty, that's just massive. Even though I was looking at lefty, that's not a low isolated power. Penny with the best price on the market at 468. Let's see pitch mix. So Wood has been killing the fastball, and Giolito's at this point more of an off-speed guy mixed in with the breaking. So he splits those secondary pitches as much as he throws that fastball. Not a whiff guy at all, not a strikeout pitcher. Obviously Jimmy's been battling the crap out of the ball. Last 15, he has 5 home runs, 358 batting average, and 302 ISO. Man, this kid is insane. Year-to-date righties, 15 homers. Again, we saw that ISO before. Walk rate's up. They could definitely continue to give him that crazy treatment there. Let's keep rocking and rolling. From a pricing perspective, where I'm kind of liking the 425 at MGM. FanDuel already lowest 320. If I devict to FanDuel, that's good value. Of course, the penny, that's really nothing. But there's some other spots here. So at this point, we're learning from Props.cash, looking at Giolito. Lefties have a higher home run rate against him, and he is somebody who's going to throw those secondary pitches at a high rate. So we find who can throw, who hits those pretty high. We'll look at some of the usual suspects. I'm definitely targeting more Nationals today. Luis Garcia, 7 home runs, all against right-handed pitching today. He is a left-handed batter. They're going to stack 5 lefties to start the lineup, and then overall 6 total lefties for the Nationals today at home against Lucas, which makes sense. 6.5 to 1 at MGM. FanDuel at 560. Great, not great. Against these breaking pitches, 3 of his 4 home runs have come against those pitches. He doesn't whiff. It's not a bad look, Luis Garcia. I mean, on the year, he only doesn't have that many home runs. Nationals clearly not a massive home run team besides Jimmy. But we could look at CJ and kind of keep it within the usual suspects for this one. CJ against fastball, he rakes. Does pretty well against these breaking pitches as well. That Giolito likes to mix in a lot. Props.cash is projecting only 0.15, so let's look at some of the odds we can get for him. 5.5 to 1. Based on the projections and the odds, that's probably not worth playing. So it's going to be the usual suspect here, but James Wood is definitely the best look for a home run, looking at what I'm seeing at Props.cash for the Boston-Washington game. So we'll keep it simple, and we'll go with Jimmy Barrels there. But next game, Cincinnati-Philly. I want to pull this up, actually. I bet the Yerfy in this game, actually. I went for a run in the first inning. I want to go back to the main thing here. This was something I wanted to talk about. So Props.cash has the Nerfy numbers and they have, look, you see this. I know a lot of people who are betting on the Nerfy. They'll see the 12-5 for Luzardo and the 7-1 at home to the Nerfy. You'll see that Abbott is perfect to the Nerfy, and they'll say, okay, -135, let's bet the Nerfy. But I'm actually seeing it entirely the other way. Yeah, these two teams have been bad scoring runs in the first inning. Abbott and Luzardo have been good, but this was a pricing play. It was at minus +110 when I played it. It's still sitting at +105 as we saw here for the odds on the Yerfy. I would play front in the first inning, and I'll kind of talk through some of these players that I think are going to, do well today. Let's get to the back to overall here, because I bet the full game over also, over 8. I got a good number as well, even money. It's 8.5 now, I think, which is probably still worth looking at. But some home run bets for this one. This is a game where, again, wind looks like it's blowing a little bit in, but I don't think that's significant considering it's not going to be like sustained, as well as the fact that we're talking 80 plus degrees. Ball should be flying off these two left-handers' arms. Let's look at some home runs. So we got Bryce, who was finally back and healthy, 400. He hasn't gone yards since he's been back. Abbott, let's see, because he's a lefty, but still right-handed batters are playing better against him. He's not a big split guy there. Looking at some of Abbott's stuff, fastball 51% of the time, low whiff rate all around on his pitches, a high strikeout percentage on that breaking pitch that he throws more often. Bryce this year has just been honestly solid all around, but against left-handed pitchers, I should say, Harper's got 5. Schwarber's got 12. Now, Abbott's definitely a traditional where he has the normal splits, but he has those 2 home runs allowed to left-handed bats. So actually, that's Abbott's 2, but in 82 plate appearances. So under the home run rate allowed to right-handed bats. Trey Turner's still been hot. He's been doing well against lefties. He's cooling off actually a little bit after that heater. The offense, we know Castellanos is a big guy against lefties generally, but his isolated power is down this year. Only 1 home run, 9 doubles. That checks out. JT's been just dog all year. Let's see. I'm not really loving anything for like the home run that I'm looking at right now, especially from a price perspective. Like 423 at Penny for Harper. Let's go to Trey Turner. Trey Turner 581 at Penny. FanDuel hanging 450. Schwarbaum, he is 3-1 at BOL. 22 plus 289 at Penny. So nothing really from a good pricing perspective. The books on the 4th are trying to suffocate us at this point, it looks like. All right, let's go to some of these Reds players. So we got Ellie right on left. I really don't love that. I mean, against left-handed pitching, but isolated power is so down. 5 home runs. So when he gets a hold of one, it's tough. Luzardo allowing his home runs to righties, none against lefties, and this is switch hitters, which Ellie is, but essentially would be saying just another right-handed bat. I guess it is a good piece of data to know that it is somebody who has the opportunity to bat on both sides of the dish. But Luzardo's allowing again more home runs against right-handed bats. Let's see. Let's go to Luzardo's page really quick. I just want to take a look at what he's priced at here. Let's look at some earned run data. Projecting 2.8 from Props.cash. So at the price of +120, there's definitely value in the Luzardo over earned runs. His home runs have been allowed off of the fastball. So let's look at some Reds who can mesh. Matt McLean, he's just so disappointing to me. I don't even want to look at his face. Like, he's 575. How has he done against the fastball? His damage has been done against the fastball this year, so that's kind of, I guess, where they're coming from. I want to see him against left-handed pitching, though, this year, because he's been bad against everything. I mean, 217, it's so bad. He was supposed to be so good. TJ Friedl left on left. let's see, Tyler Stevenson, CES. I mean, only 32 PA, but come on, man. Another guy who's supposed to be a masher and just can't do anything. I don't know. I'm not loving this game for the home run, which I thought it would be. For somebody who has the over. So I have the over in this, I have the Yurfie in this. So 2 plays there, but from a home run perspective, I think we'll keep chugging. Let's go to Michaelis versus Rhea in Wrigley. Now we got to do always the weather check in Wrigley. A little bit of wind blowing out, nothing crazy, but beautiful temperatures. Now this could be a great game to target for the King of the Diamond. Let's look at some BVP against Michaelis. Not that it's massive, but Nico's going to get on base probably. You got Tucker and his 3 PAs. I mean, Tucker's an animal. You had Happ has obviously seen him a bunch. Sayas seen him a bunch because they're in the same division. Dansby seen him a good amount. But with wins like this, that's obviously why we're seeing the odds we're seeing on a PCA, who of course can hit some nukes, but had this really hot stretch and just kind of cooled off in the home run department pretty big time. But the team's hitting the ball hard lately. The Cubs are always hitting the ball hard accordingly. Damn, the isolated power, green all across the board in the last 15, realistically. Is it just as easy as Tucker today and call it a day? I mean, Michaelis just throws cheddar right down the dish. 2 home runs allowed to lefties plus the 4. 2 to switch hitters, so that's lefties plus the 4. So, yeah, he's getting shelled by left-handed bats. 375 at Penny. I mean, Penny wouldn't be my even D-Vig of choice at this point. If you have Penny, of course, put the 360, but Tucker at 375, I'm all in. I think that's a great bet. From a pitch perspective, from a side of the plate perspective, like, I don't know why this is red, because the 237 ISO was solid. 11 home runs off right-handed pitching this year. His AB against Michaelis flew out to New Bar, 95 miles per hour, ripped a sinker for a single, 104 off the bat, then a double down the line. I'm assuming Altuve scored. Oh, it's back in 2023. Oh, they hadn't even played as a member of the Cubs and the Cardinals. Okay, that's interesting. Again, not that I was putting stock in this anyway, but it just does show that he has a good look at a guy like Michaelis, who is not a whiff pitcher. We can look at those numbers. He's not going to be blowing anything by anybody. So, Michaelis, like it's right here. Whiff rate 6.5, 5.4, and 8% on some of the big breaking pitches. Low strikeout numbers, even though he actually has been decent in that department. So, Kyle Tucker, kind of all reliable there for the offense, I think is a great look. Absolutely for a home run today. Let's look at Seiya Suzuki, 359 at Penny. He's been on a tear, man. Overall this season against right-handed pitching, 15 of his home runs have come. The isolated power is big. BVPs, no home runs off of Michaelis in his career, but 6 singles. I don't think did Michaelis play them, pitch against them this year, I should say? I feel like he did and pitched well. No, he did not this year. Okay, so I'm making that up. So nothing new he hasn't seen the new and improved big-time dinger, Michaelis. Big-time digger Suzuki. Mets Yankees. Do we have a pitcher for the Mets? No, we don't. Not yet. Let's go back to home runs. Judge, of course, with those odds. Jazz has been heating up, actually, which has been fun to watch. Grisham. So we don't even have a pitcher for the Mets. Maybe I'll check Savant quickly to see if they have anybody listed, or I'll just check a sportsbook after. Let's pull up a sportsbook quickly to see if anybody has been slotted in. Justin Hagenman is slotted in. Okay, so let's look him up. Justin Hagenman, he has been recalled from AAA. He pitched on the 19th against the Braves, 2.2 innings, 2 hits, 1 K. Pitched on April 16th 3.1 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 4 Ks against the Twins, of course, back in April. So, young boys up in the show, always fun. The odds are, of course, reflecting that. I think the total in this game was over 9, so the books were definitely already expecting some runs. Aaron Judge, he's 2-1. Let's see what he's at FanDuel. FanDuel has a boost today for a home run. Yeah, he's the only book even showing Judge at this point. I guess it's because the pitching is still unconfirmed. Though I think it is. I mean, DraftKings is showing me that Justin Hangeman is pitching. I'm seeing an article here that he was called up, so it would make sense that he's going today for the match against the Yankees. Definitely a tough overall look. For him to come into this like a really crazy hot offense, and have to try to hold his own. I mean, the Yankees have been winning games, but they still been putting up runs. Let's pull this back up. Alonso, and who was pitching for the Yanks? I forgot already. Stroman. Oh, sinker Stroman. Guy who's going to try to get some ground balls. Of course, and get shelved. Let's pull up Alonso, who hasn't been doing really much anything. Yeah, I don't want to look at some head-to-head. Yeah, he's definitely cooled off after that crazy start. 264, so he's still batting pretty well. The isolated power has gone down, but for a guy who's like all power, it's definitely concerning. Stroman this year, 3 home runs allowed and 66 PA, not good coach. Lefties have gotten him a little bit. The fact that teams have been stacking left-handed bats says a lot about what they think of Stroman, from those traditional splits. So we can look at, we have Lindor 390. We'll be batting lefty. Lindor went Yabo 2 days ago off of the Miz. Last 15. He's been showing a lot of power. Nimmo's been showing power. Soto's been heating up, as we know. Maybe it's simple as Soto, especially at 345. 410 at Rivers, 400 at ESPN. So if I like Soto. If we're talking some like chalky home runs, we already have Tucker, I think is worth looking at. I think Soto is definitely the next guy worth looking at. Right-handed pitching is where he's been done most of his damage. Of course, Stroh is a righty. BVP, doesn't matter. We're talking 2023 there. Doesn't have anything in the air because Stroman is a ground ball pitcher, but Soto's had a ton of lift. Like his fly balls. Let's go in here. So he is averaging 0.7 a game, which is a good look, but as you see, is getting a little bit more lift on the ball in his last couple of outings. So that's a good thing for somebody we're trying to have go yard. And it's a beautiful day in New York. This wind is not coming in. I'm telling you that. It's 88. Balls are going to be flying unless it's very like Manfred to bring out the dead balls for holidays, even though it's the time for the juice balls. But I like for any Met, I like Soto. So if we're gonna kind of go with some of these chalky looks, Tucker and Soto are 2 guys that I do like to go yard. So let's keep on rolling. Twins. Tampa Bay Rays. Let's go Rays. Need a big series dub here for some futures. Brandon Lau has been an absolute horse lately, and his odds are all the way down to plus 275. I mean, this guy, his odds are sitting at the 5-1 range, 7.51 to range at times this season. This is like, I mean, it makes sense because he's been absolutely ripping. But let's see. Coming against right-handed pitching, left-handed pitching has been hitting Paddock for the long ball a lot more. If you combine these PAs, they're basically, the rate isn't bad. So you can really go with either side of the dish. You don't have to try to isolate with Paddock. So we can kind of look more at some of that pitch mix stuff because he's letting up similar home run rates to either sides of the dish. See, the off speed has been what's killing him. Lowe has done a great job on the off speed, though he does tank the fastball, as you see by the K rates that are following that. So Brandon Lau at this price, what are we looking at? This is too low for me. I know it's a good matchup, but that's not a good bet, I don't think. Ronda at 240, I don't think either. You could look at the race versus righties, like low, 16 bombs off righties, Yandy as well. This is like a good home run matchup. Caminero. Let's see some odds for Caminero. 285. Like these are tough. I feel like these are, the great spots. These are the guys that we want to be backing that are, everybody's going to be running to the window to bet some of these guys, but like, I don't know. I don't see it. I'm not gonna play any chalk there. Pittsburgh, Seattle, who's on the bump. Ryan Wu and unconfirmed. I'm not gonna look at that. Let's go Texas, San Diego. We got Randy Vasquez and Kumar Rocker. Let's keep going. Eric Lauer, Kyle Hendricks. Okay, this is a game that I think a Toronto Blue Jays a good look for the king of the diamond. I personally added Vladdy to my slip. My slip was Tucker and Vladdy for the promo on DK. And back to San Diego Rangers. Quickly, I bet the Padres money line. So just some FYI there. Nothing prop analysis there. I won't, no home run that I want to look at, but I took SD money line. So things I bet already. Yurfee and Pitson. Padres money line. Over 8 in Pitson. And home run bets that we've looked at so far are James Wood home run, Kyle Tucker home run, and who's the final chalk piece we had, and Juan Soto home run. Those are the 3 home runs that we're looking at. That makes sense from a pricing perspective, a matchup perspective, all things considered. So that was definitely good start to the day. Have a bunch of new viewers coming in. What's going on, guys? We're running through games for another 10 or so minutes here, and so we can get some replays going. We can get some props going. We have a lot of great data with Props.cash. Promo code BetSmart for 30% off your first month. But I took Vladdy for the King of the Diamond on the DraftKings promotion. I think the Blue Jays, to specify that promotion, you have to bet a 2-leg home run parlay, and if your guy hits a home run and that team is also the highest scoring team of the day, you're eligible for a $2 million bonus pool. And I think the Blue Jays are a team that we saw what their offense is doing this weekend. We know how hot they are. Bring it to the last 15. I mean, Vladdy's BA. Like, Vladdy's been your worst player, especially somebody who, he loves to sell those slips, but he's the one with the 212 batting average in the past 15 games. And the rest of the team is green like this. Yeah, this is a hot. We know Springer's been hitting dingers. The Springer dinger is back. Vladdy with 3 home runs, so we're seeing some power. That ISO, as you see, it's still solid. Bichette 250. I mean, listen, compared to what he got last year, he's getting on base. That's really just a big thing. Barger's raking the baseball. I like them for the King of the Diamond. 450 here at Rivers. There's expected value to ESPN, 2 FanDuel, 2 nothing for Penny, but I like a Vladdy home run. So we got a pretty chalky 4-piece of guys that we like. But I mean, based on the prices, the pitch mixes, and the matchups, I mean, those are the things to really consider the most. That's something I really do like. And Kyle Hendricks. Let's look at Hibbs' numbers. You have right-handed bats, 10 home runs, 5 and more PA against left-handed bats. So the righties are probably the worth isolating, though you can't really go wrong. So we went with Vladdy there. And we'll flip side it here. So Mikey Trout against Eric Lauer. Trout. I mean, I don't really want to bet a Trout home run in the year 2025 at this point, man. It's sad to say because he is the GOAT, but not the actual GOAT. He is a GOAT, of course, a Hall of Famer, but gotta probably look at the O'Hoppies and even the Nettos of the world here. Home runs have been coming against right-handed bats for Lauer as a left-handed pitcher, so we can isolate that a little bit down. Neto has the pop against the lefty, so does Taylor Ward and O'Hoppe and Odell. So it is the usual suspect from the Angel side. It's like crazy to say that at this point Trout isn't a usual suspect. So who the question is going to come down to now is pitch mix and price. So we'll go one by one here with these kind of guys and see who we like the best. Do you think ESPN for a home run? I'm not really too sure about that, but 370 for Rivers, 340 for FanDuel. So there is EV at Rivers. Pitch mix though against the fastball. Yeah, you guys see Lauer. Maybe there's some problem with Lauer there. But we see Neto kills the fastball. I don't think Lauer is a fastball pitcher though, which is important. Of course, we're in the beautiful Rogers Center, so weather not going to be a factor. Let's look at Taylor Ward and see if it populates for the pitch mix. Yeah, it's not showing up for Lauer, but maybe we could find it over here. There we go. So he's throwing a fastball 59.6% of the time. So he is a fastball pitcher. So maybe it just is Neto. Let's go back to some of these home run props to look at it. So we saw Neto. He is a fastball hunter. And Lauer's a lefty, right? Eric Lauer. Yeah, he's a lefty. Well, I want to see left-handed stats here. Maybe we go to a different page. I want to see lefty. Like, unless I'm like missing, Lauer's definitely pitching. I want to see against lefties, not righties. We've seen it before. 4 against left-handed pitching. Okay, I want to go to a Angel batter. There we go. Neto. So let's keep rolling. So Neto right now, again, we'll go back to the home runs. 10 home runs off fastballs, and there we go. Lauer has allowed 3 of his home runs off of fastballs and is a high fastball pitcher. There we go. Finally, we're populating correctly. Taylor Ward here. Home runs. Let's see, pitch mix. 10 of his home runs have come against fastballs, and we see that fastballs have been getting hit hard against Lauer. But the price isn't giving us anything too good from an expected value standpoint. So Neto still has us one there. Let's go back to O'Hoppe. 475. So that's really good EV to FanDuel and to BOL. So O'Hoppe is definitely worth looking at here. But see what he does against the fastball this year. Only 4 home runs against left-handed pitching, but the isolated power is high, and those only 4. So that's a great ratio there. Only 40 PAs. I guess the strikeout rate is, I was going to say, strikeout rate is just high, man. That's kind of the problem for O'Hoppe in these kind of spots. It's just like that's why he only has 40 PA against lefties, and that's why his ISO is ridiculously high, and that's why his price is the best in the market. These are all things you got to consider, fam, when you're going through all this stuff. So we want to put it there. Shout out to Blake for being in chat before. I appreciate you, bro. Fun at the parade. Happy 4th. I'm going to rock for a little bit longer here, but a reminder of what we got played. Yurfie, Philly, Cincinnati. Over 8, Philly, Cincinnati. Home run bets, Jimmy Barrels, Kyle Tucker, Juan Soto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. But I like Vladimir or Kyle Tucker, and Kyle Tucker, I should say, for the King of the Diamond boost in on DraftKings. And I also bet the Padres on the money line. So that's everything we talked about so far. I'm going to rock for like a couple more minutes here. Of course, you want to go celebrate the 4th, but we need to get some bets in, of course. Detroit, Cleveland. I really didn't look at this one too much. Slade Session, Reese Olson. I mean, the Guardians. Who wants to bet a Guardians home run, bro? Like, I don't think anybody does at this point. They're just so bad. Their offense is so frustrating. J-Ram, I love you, brother, but you're just as cold as it gets. Hasn't gone Yabo in days. And, like, I know there's he might be due crowd, but listen, small sample size and anything's possible. You don't talk about being due. The isolated power, that is ridiculous. I hope you guys understand how low that is, right? Like, this is what we're talking about. Like, this is, in green, 237, 0.237, 0.02 isolated power. J-Ram is not hitting the ball, is evidenced by the 1 double and the 0 dongs. He's not hitting the ball hard at all in his last 15, and he's not hitting it at all with a 0.18 batting average. So that is really not great. And if you guys want to do this research for yourself as well, promo code BetSmart for 30% off your first month of props.cash. Pricing wise, FanDuel best in market, Penny right behind them. I mean, it's I don't think this weather's not concerning at all. It's beautiful. It looks like a beautiful day across the entire country here. Beautiful, beautiful weather. I don't know, man. I'm not buying into J-Ram, but a guy I can definitely buy into who's on a massive freaking heater is this man Riley Green. BVP, no BVP. Dude, he's been raking. And he's been so much fun to watch. Hitting the ball in the gaps, putting the ball over the fence, moving it from gap to gap, 4 dingers and 85 PA against left-handed bats. So pretty high ratio. Lefties are definitely worth looking at. From an EV perspective, though, Rivers 370 is good compared to FanDuel. The Penny, of course, better, but not great. Session mixes in the off speed, but he's allowed 3 home runs there. And Riley has hit them. I think we can add to the chalk parade with a Riley Green dinger. That is just another fun one. And there is some EV to FanDuel, which is good for devigging, and it's better than the market average. So I add him to the list. Add to the freaking list. We have a bunch of fun home run sweats found already, a bunch of totals, a Yurfie, a money line. That's great. That's absolutely great. Mill Miami. Yelich home run. I already bet this. I'll save you the spiel. I already bet Yelich home run. It was the best price in market. It was 8-1 when I bet it. Let's see what it's at now. Is it still available? No, 5-6. They got it ESPN too. So I snagged. I got in some good value there at the 8-1 for Yelly Bomb. Yelly's been on fire. If you guys have been paying attention, man, like 390 batting average, 4 dingers, 6 gappers, 10 extra base hits in his last 15 games. Man, he is on fire, and that's always good for the league when a stud like Yelich is absolutely raking. From like just a pricing perspective, is gone now. Like, I mean, I hate past postings, but I'm just like being transparent about what I played. 8-1 is long gone, but at 5.6-1 is still enticing at FanDuel, especially with the profit boost. To have the 30% PB, it does not have to be on a parlay. It could be on a straight. So if you add a 30% boost to that 560, then there's definitely expected value on the Yelly home run. I would absolutely look at that. So I got 2 more plays that I bet. One of them is going to be fun. Actually, I have 3 more plays. I'm going to give them all out today. I bet the Baltimore-Atlanta team total, Baltimore team total against Atlanta in the first 5, 1.5 over. So the Baltimore used to score 2 runs in the first 5 to go over against Strider. I know Baltimore's been so frustrating, but I'm still just like anti-Strider. Obviously he is a stud, but this year has obviously had some struggles coming back from the injury. Looked a little bit better in his last couple starts, but teams are kind of on him right now. He doesn't have his crazy movement, his fastball still cranking, but I think the O's can get 2 across the board early. I like Gary Sanchez home run. I have him pulled up already. I didn't bet this yet, and the bets that we found on stream for home runs are Tucker, Wood, Guerrero, Soto, Green. So everybody who's new, Tucker, Soto, Guerrero, Wood, Green for home runs have been bets that we found together using props.cash. Also, we looked at Yelich, and this is one that I looked at but didn't play. But this 8-1 is sexy. I'm not gonna lie. Gary Sanchez 8-1. So we're getting away from the chalk train. And we're gonna rip with the 8-1 Gary Sanchez train as well. So we have our big chalk guys, but then we have Yelich, who technically could be a chalk guy, but now add Gary Sanchez to that mix. So we have a bunch of fun looks for home runs today, and I will be tracking all of these just to make sure that for transparency's sake, of course. And then on Wednesday when I'm back with Jake, we'll go over it. But I got 2 more plays after this one. So Baltimore, first 5 team total 2+. I'm on. Colorado, Chicago. I bet the Yurfie. Let's pull it up. Minus 140. I got this minus 130. We're in Coors. House has been good. Senzatella has been absolutely awful. Offensively, I mean, these numbers are a little bit skewed, but the Rockies have been. They were home against the Astros, the White Sox. They've been putting up some good runs, even against like the Dodgers on their little road trip. But I see some value even at minus 140. Of course, you have the elevation. Everyone's making fun of this game. Like, who the hell wants to watch a Rockies White Sox on the 4th of July? Spoiler alert, I do. And I bet the Yurfie in this one at Coors. So hoping for a quick run for the Rockies. Or for the White Sox. I don't care who scores, but Yurfie in this one, another bet that I played today for the 4th. And last but not least on my plays, got to get out of here, of course. We got the 4th of July. Happy 4th, everybody. This one's not fun because we're going to be looking at the pitchers. But just from, I mean, I love looking at the pitchers, don't get me wrong. That's not what doesn't make it fun. But if I haven't teased it enough, talking about lack of fun when we've been talking about home runs for the last 36 minutes and a bunch of overs, because I bet the under here. Under 8.5. Minus 120 at MGM. I took that. Props.cash is exclusively a player prop research tool, and it's the best one out there. So use promo code BetSmart. You can get 30% off your first month to have access to all this data. I know Bubic has been getting hit hard, but we saw it last night with Robbie Ray. The The Diamondbacks all year long, even after last year being the best team against left-handed pitching or one of the best teams against left-handed pitching, they cannot hit left-handed pitching this year. And Corbin Carroll being on the IL is doing them no favors. This lineup looks pretty gross. Bubic, after a couple blow-up starts, got back to reality in his last couple of games in a good way. Decent outing against LA, 7 hard-hit balls, but it's the Dodgers. Tampa Bay, who was absolutely smoking hot at that point, ended up taking the L and they lost that game. But 6 Ks, even though he had 8 hits allowed, he was still just throwing the ball well. 10 hard-hit balls is never ideal, but based on how the Diamondbacks have been, I'll show you the numbers here. Look at this red against left-handed pitching. Perdomo's been solid, Gurriel's been solid, but overall, like, just so much red. And KC, obviously to get to an over, they have to do their part, but they haven't hit all year long. We have the conditions in Arizona, which is going to be, indoor, pitchers park. Against left-handed pitching, I mean, this team hasn't been good either. Bobby's got good numbers, and Erod, after again that horrible middle part of this year, has fully got back to form and is cooking. So, I know we love the home runs and the overs, but we have a bunch of them. There is an under for you, full game under 8.5 Royals D-backs. So, boys, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm going to run through the plays one more time for all the new viewers. And I just want to shout out to everybody. If you want to be able to do all this player prop research yourself, go to props.cash.com, promo code BetSmart, and get 30% off your first month. So you can play around with these tools, MLB, WNBA, and NFL season, boys. We have season-long numbers. The NFL season will be here. We'll do a stream about some of this. But, yeah, boys, NFL is on the brain. So don't think we're forgetting the NFL. It's going to be here before we know it. We have NFL season on props.cash, but run through of the plays. I'll bring up the games. Boston, Washington, James Wood home run. I like his home run, bases, RBI hits, runs RBIs, hit after hit leg kind of guy. James Wood, we're sticking with the chalk in game 1 for the first bet. Cincinnati, Philly. Yurfie, yes, run in the first inning. I know you love the 6 quick outs, but screw that. We're getting a run in the first frame and full game over 8 for Philly, Cincinnati. Cubs, Cardinals, we're backing Kyle Tucker to put one out at Wrigley against Michaelis. Kyle Tucker home run. Mets, Yankees, Juan Soto on fire. Juan Soto home run for the Mets, Yankees. Texas, San Diego money line. No props, but San Diego money line. LAA Tour, Zach Neto home run for the Angels. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. home run for the Blue Jays. I like Guerrero, part of the DraftKings King of the Diamond promotion, as well as Kyle Tucker for that. So those are my two looks for teams that I think have a lot of success today as well, because you need that success to be able to be in that $2 million bonus pool. Baltimore, Atlanta. I have Baltimore first 5 team total over 2.5. White Sox, Rockies, your fee. Yes, run in the first inning at Coors. And last but not least on the plays, KC, Arizona, under 8.5. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. If you want any more information about any sports betting tool on the market, go to betsmart.co and follow us on X at GoBetSmart. If you're watching on YouTube, follow us at GoBetSmart. And if you want to make the best player prop bets you can every single day for the rest of the summer, use code BetSmart for 30% off props.cash. Thank you for sponsoring the stream, Props. We really appreciate you. And thank you for all the value you provide to the community. Have a happy 4th, everybody. Be safe, be smart, and I'll see you guys on Sunday for another stream. I appreciate you guys. Let's have a day. Thank you, and look